So far you have seen how to create post API request and get API request. In this video I will discuss about how to pass the query parameters in get API request. So by using the query parameters we can get the resource details which we have already created in the application server. So let's look at the manual use case first, and then we will automate the get API request using query parameters. So here I will go to the Postman. So firstly, we are going to create a booking. So this flow already we have automated it. And then we will go to the get API call query parameters. So if you look at this URL, right? And if you go to the params tab, so here I'm passing the first name, last name. So these are the runtime data. So I have stored the first name, which I'm passing in the create booking in the environment variables, and last name also I'm getting it from the environment variables. So whatever the data I have passed in the create booking API, so that data I am assigning here. So if I click on send, so this is going to receive the booking ID. So with this particular F name, that is the first name and last name, so we have one booking. So it is going to return as the 200 as a status code and OK as the status text. So we will see how to automate the get API call by using the query parameters. So let's start with the creating the spec file now. So here I'm creating the new spec file called 05. So here I'll say query parameters dot spec dot ts. So that's it. So here I will go to the get API request spec file and I will copy the code from the previous spec file. So I will come back to the new spec file and I'll paste it here. So here I'll say create get API request using query parameters in Playwright and TypeScript. So I have just updated the test title. So firstly we are making the post API call here, and then we are validating the API response here. And from the line number 55, so we are making the get API call here, right? So here we are passing the booking ID. So previously we have automated by using the booking ID, we are able to get the resource details which we have already created by using the post API call. So this time we will validate whatever the resources we have created in the application server by using the query parameters, right? So simply I will delete this stuff. So before I update anything here, so here let's say create get API request using query parameters. So that's it, guys. Now, so I will come back to the line number 55. So this is where we are creating the get API call. So if you look at the our Postman, so this is the get API call, and we are passing the first name and last name here, right, as a parameters. So let's add the firstly URL, and if you see here, guys, so this is a URL I have already added it, and if you see here, so we have already booking here. Now, so let's pass the parameters. So if you just type params, so here we have the one property called params. So inside this params, we can pass the key name and respective value. So in our case, key name is, so if I go to the create booking, the key name is first name. So let's get the resource details by using the first name and last name. So here I'm passing the field name as first name, and let's get the first name value. So if you see the line number 17, so this is where we are generating the first name. So let's pass the first name field value, and similarly let's get the last name field name or a key name. Then let's assign the last name whatever we are generating by using the faker plugin. So that's it, guys. So we are done with creating the get API call by using the query parameters, correct? If you look at the below code here, so we are validating the status code and status text. And if you compare our query parameters API, so we are getting the 200 as a status code and we are getting the OK as a text, correct? And then, so at the end, we are printing the get API JSON response. So we are done with writing the code. Let's run the test and verify the output. If you look at here, this particular test is passing, and let's go to the output. So here we are able to create the booking successfully, and also we are able to get the booking ID by using the query parameter API call here, right? If you see the postman also, so here simply we are just, it is giving us the booking ID, correct? So this is how you can create the get API call by using query parameters in Playwright and TypeScript.